Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be making this sleeve today. There are different names that this sleeve is called. Some people call it the smoked sleeve, others call it ruched or rushed. I don't know how you want to call it, but however you wish to call it is totally fine. So if you're interested to learn how you can make this kind of sleeve for yourself, then let me teach you how. Follow me. So I'm going to first of all draft this sleeve on a pattern paper because it's going to be easier for me. It's going to be visible to look at what I'm doing. So I'm taking 1 inch on the edge of the paper and then I'm just going to roll it. Once I'm done with the pattern paper, I'm just going to transfer it to a main fabric. It makes it easier for me and it makes it easier to watch as well. So I'll just fold it together like the normal way you fold your patterns or your fabric to cut a sleeve. So I'm going to be making use of this 10 inches of this sleeve length. You can make it bigger, you can make it wider, it is up to you. But the purpose of this tutorial, I'm making it 10 inches in length. So at this point, I don't know how you cut your sleeve, but you just go ahead and just draft out your sleeve and just cut it out. So this is a pattern I'm going to be working with. You can see if you want yours to be bigger, you just cut at least twice the normal sleeve or 3 times your sleeve. For me, this is like double of the initial sleeve that I like to cut. So I'm going to be folding this 1 inch inward. You're going to know in a moment what this 1 inch is meant for. So at this edge of the sleeve, I'm just going to be marking 1 inch at each point of this measurement. So we just want to create some rows and some columns on this pattern paper. So it will be very advisable if you just watch what I'm doing. If you don't understand, looking at what I'm doing, you're going to understand. So I'll come to the middle part of the sleeve and I'm going to mark the same 1 inch that I just marked at the edge of the pattern paper. So if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, I want to say that I really appreciate you stopping by. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I'm going to repeat the same thing I did for the 2 sides. I'm going to do the same thing here, 1 inch. Then I'll just connect the points together to form a row. So this is what I mean. So we've been able to form our row. So I'll just take 1 inch on this edge again. Look at what I'm doing carefully at this point, because if you miss it at this point, you've really messed up your sleeve. So I'll take 1 inch upward and then 1 inch downwards. Then I'm just going to connect it together. We are now trying to form a column as well on the sleeve. So after that, I'm going to be taking 1.5 inch on the top side, 1.5 inch on the, so I'll just link it up as well. So I'm going to be doing the same thing from this point now to the end of the sleeve pattern. So I'll just repeat the same process all along. 1.5 all through. So underneath, I'm also going to take 1.5 the same way so that I'll be able to link it up together. So I'm going to be connecting the points together as well, top to bottom. So we've gotten a row, we're creating our columns now. And these columns are very important to the kind of sleeve that we're going to be creating. You know, we are making a ruched sleeve. All of these lines that we're making will help us achieve the ruched sleeve that we're trying to make. And at this point, these lines are not accurate, so just try as much as you can to make your lines very much accurate. So after all of these rows and these columns that we just created, so I'm going to be striking this box. I'm going to leave this box empty. I'm going to strike the next box. I will leave the next one empty. I'll do the same thing here. Strike it, leave this open, all the way to the end of the pattern paper. So as you can see, this is filled, empty, filled all the way up. So I'm going to leave this row empty. I'm not going to be making use of any box there. So going over, I'm going to third row. I'm also going to strike a box, leave the other one empty, strike the next one. So I want you to notice that we are giving an opposite line. We are striking an opposite line in the box. So the other line went the other way. This one is going the other way. So over to the fourth column, I am also taking this line in the opposite direction. So it's now giving the S kind of shape. So if you face the lines on the same side of each other, you are going to get a different pattern, different from what we are trying to create. So we have some empty columns and some empty rows. So see how this line went this way, the other crossed the other way, and this line came this way, this line this way, like that. So giving that S shape. So be careful not to make your lines go in the same direction. You can see how we struck our lines in the boxes. They go in the opposite direction. So if you want your sleeve to have more ruchiness, I don't know if I'm correct, then you have to make your sleeve longer in length and wider in size. In that way you have a lot of what you're trying to make. So we've been able to transfer all the lines that you can see on this pattern paper to the fabric. It was so much work, but we've been able to do it. And then underneath I folded it. Remember the 1 inch that we took on the pattern paper, we added it to the fabric, but in this case we folded it underneath. So the lines that you can see in the boxes, we're going to be using a needle and a thread to that effect. So I'm going to be passing my needle, like you can see on your screen, from the one edge to the other edge this way. Then I'll take it over again, and then the third time I'm going to be knotting it. So this is what it looks like on the right side of it. So I'm going to continue to the next boss. So as you can see right now, it is the lines in the boxes that are controlling how our needle passes through the fabric at this point. So we're done with our first column. This is what it is on the wrong side of it. And then on the right side of it, this is what it's going to look like. So if the look you get is different from what you're seeing, then you need to recheck what you are doing. I'll move to the next column with the lines in the boxes, and then like we did for the first row, we're also going to repeat the same thing on the next row with the lines. This is the second row. We are done with the second row. Then turning it to the right side as well, this is what it looks like. So after the third row, this is what it looks like on the wrong side of it. Turning it to the right side of it, this is how it looks. So if you want a bigger sleeve to have this much richness, so you have to cut it longer and wider. So taking it to the armhole of your dress, you are going to be making pleats on the armhole parts of your dress, like what I'm trying to make, but you're going to be making this on the armhole of your dress on the sewing machine. But because I'm not attaching it to any dress, I'm just going to head over to the sewing machine and make some pleats this way and just stitch on it all around, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. I've been able to stitch on the pleats, and then after that, underneath, I'm going to be using this elastic, and then I'm going to be passing the elastic through the channel that we made for it. So underneath, I want you to recall the 1 inch that we marked at the beginning on the pattern paper. That's the 1 inch that we're passing this elastic through at this point. So you pass your elastic through, and that is that for this sleeve. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. So if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell icon so you're the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video, and don't forget to give my video a thumbs up. And are you looking for a way you can make a ready-to-wear gown without lining, without zip? Then check at the top right side of your screen, because I'll be leaving a link to a video there. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.